A young woman sleeps peacefully in her rustic wooden bed, while soft, rainy morning light fills the quiet room. Gentle raindrops slowly slide down the wooden window as misty green hills blur softly outside. The young woman quietly walks down the creaky wooden staircase while holding the smooth old banister. A rustic countryside kitchen rests peacefully with wooden shelves, hanging herbs, and soft morning light. The young woman stands at the open wooden door, calmly watching rain fall across the green garden. A small match is struck softly, and a warm orange flame lights the cast iron stove. The young woman gently pours white flour from a linen sack into a large earthen bowl. Her hands slowly mix flour, yeast, and water together, forming a rough, sticky dough. She kneads the dough steadily on the wooden table with calm focus and gentle rhythm. A smooth, round ball of dough rests in the bowl as she covers it with cloth. The young woman sits by the rainy window, holding a warm mug of tea quietly. A calico cat jumps onto the windowsill as the young woman gently pets its head. After resting quietly for some time, the dough rises beautifully and doubles in size. She softly presses her fist into the dough, letting the trapped air escape slowly. The shaped dough now rests neatly inside a round wicker proofing basket. A sharp razor blade gently scores a deep crescent line across the dough surface. Wearing thick oven mitts, she carefully lowers the dough into the hot cast iron pot. The warm orange glow of the stove fills the kitchen while rain falls outside. The lid lifts slowly, revealing a beautifully baked loaf surrounded by warm steam. The golden loaf rests quietly on a wire rack, slowly cooling on the wooden table. A serrated knife slices through the crispy crust, revealing the soft, steaming bread inside. Creamy butter spreads slowly across the warm slice, melting gently into the bread. A spoonful of bright strawberry jam is placed gently over the melting butter. The young woman sits peacefully holding the warm slice while rain continues falling outside. Fresh bread, strawberry jam, butter, and tea create a cozy morning scene on the table. Outside the small cottage, rain falls gently while warm light glows from the windows. Clear raindrops slowly merge together and slide quietly down the cool window glass. The young woman's bare feet step softly onto the worn wooden floorboards. She wraps the thick knitted cardigan around her shoulders with a sleepy, gentle smile. Her hand slowly glides along the smooth old wooden staircase banister. The quiet, rustic kitchen sits peacefully under soft morning light and hanging herbs. Simple ceramic mugs rest neatly together on an open wooden shelf. The young woman slowly pushes open the heavy wooden door, letting cool air inside. Rain falls steadily across the garden while she stands quietly in the doorway. A match suddenly sparks to life, creating a small, bright flame in the darkness. Inside the stove, dry logs begin catching fire as the small flame slowly grows. The stove crackles warmly, filling the quiet kitchen with a gentle orange glow. Inside the pantry, the young woman scoops fresh flour from a large linen sack. A scoop of flour falls softly into the bowl, creating a cloud of white dust. She sprinkles sparkling sea salt slowly over the soft white flour. A small jar of bubbly yeast mixture waits ready to be added to the flour. The young woman rolls up her sleeves, preparing to begin her baking work. Her hands mix flour, yeast, and water together, forming a sticky, uneven dough. Clear water pours slowly into the bowl, making the dough softer and heavier. The rough dough is placed gently onto the floured wooden table. She kneads the dough steadily, pressing it forward with strong, calm movements. The dough slowly becomes smoother as it stretches and folds under her hands. Strands of hair fall around her face while she kneads with calm focus. The dough becomes a smooth, elastic ball, resting softly on the table. She places the smooth dough ball back into the large bowl with satisfaction. A soft floral cloth is gently placed over the bowl to cover the dough. The covered bowl rests near the warm stove, where the dough can rise. A metal kettle warms slowly on the stove, while steam begins escaping. Loose black tea leaves are scooped gently from a small glass jar. The tea leaves fall softly into the open iron teapot. The calico cat wakes from its nap and stretches lazily near the fire. The kettle whistles loudly as steam pours strongly from the spout. Hot wire pours into the teapot, releasing rich, fragrant steam. The young woman sits by the rainy window, holding a mug of hot tea. Her hands wrap around the warm mug while soft steam rises upward. The calico cat sits beside her on the windowsill, watching the falling rain. The mug, teapot, tea jar, and cat rest peacefully by the window. The dough has risen beautifully, looking soft, puffy, and full of air. She gently presses the dough, letting the trapped air escape slowly. The dough is shaped carefully on the wooden table with patient hands. The dough becomes a perfect round loaf ready for baking. The round dough rests inside a flowered wicker proofing basket. Inside the oven, a heavy cast iron pot heats among glowing flames. Wearing oven mitts, she carefully lifts the hot lid from the pot. With a quick motion, she scores a crescent line across the dough. The dough slides gently into the hot Dutch oven. Inside the pot, the dough slowly opens along the scored line. The heavy lid is placed back onto the pot for baking. The warm orange kitchen fills slowly with the comforting smell of baking bread. The young woman breathes deeply, enjoying the wonderful aroma. The curious cat lifts its head, smelling the bread baking. The kettle temperature gauge shows a strong, steady heat. She opens the oven door, and warm light shines across her face. The lid lifts, revealing the beautiful loaf surrounded by rising steam. The crust turns golden brown with a deep blooming score. She lifts the finished bread from the pot, feeling proud and happy. The loaf rests on a rack while warm steam rises slowly. The crust crackles softly while the bread cools on the table. Bread, tea, and the curious cat create a peaceful kitchen scene on the table. A serrated knife is held ready to slice the warm loaf. The knife cuts through the crust with a satisfying crunchy sound. The slice reveals a soft, airy interior, releasing gentle steam. Creamy butter spreads slowly across the warm bread, melting instantly. Sweet strawberry jam is placed gently over the melting butter. The young woman sits calmly with the bread while rain continues falling outside. She brings the warm slice closer, ready to take the first bite. Her face shows peaceful happiness after tasting the fresh bread. The curious cat sniffs the crumbs resting on the wooden table. Bread, jam, butter, and tea rest quietly on the cozy table. The young woman sits on the porch, drinking tea while watching the rain. The cozy cottage glows warmly in the rain, while smoke rises from the chimney.